Hello, welcome back to Afi Farm. Yes, we are now almost reaching to where we're supposed to start our baths. But before we do that, I want to tell you about Sundus Exchange. More later. Sundus Exchange is our sponsor of this video. If you want to sponsor more of these videos or support, the links are down there in the description and even the numbers are on the trail. Alright, so what we need at certain moments, I told you that these rats actually eat our buds. The rats eat these young chicks. So what is the solution? I came up with a good breeding cage. What they call a brooding cage. So my cage is divided into two sections. First of all, my cage is 2 by 5 feet in width and 7.5 feet long. Actually up to about 8, but it is 7 feet long. Now the reason for the longevity of the cage. Alright, so let me take this opportunity in a minute to talk about Sundus Exchange. Sundus Exchange is a foreign exchange money bureau. So Forex Exchange, Sundus Exchange has always been doing Forex Exchange all the time. For about 10 years now here in Uganda. Now we have branches in Canada, USA, UK, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all the UAE cities, major cities, Uganda, Kenya, that is Tanzania, Somalia, Eritrea, Pakistan. So when you send money, they receive direct onto their mobile wallet on all mobile money lines. So for example, here in Uganda, we receive on Airtel, MTN, and M-Pesa. And we shall receive in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Eritrea, Somalia. So gone are the days when someone needed to have passport to receive money through a forest bureau. So the agents has been here for long, but then we want to someone to receive onto their mobile money because their mobile money line is already registered with their national ID. So they don't need to transport themselves to a major city or center where forex bureaus are. No, all they need to do is go to a mobile money agent and withdraw money. So continue supporting our friends at Sundus Exchange. You can visit our website or our offices in these major cities that I've mentioned, or you can give us a phone contact, especially in Uganda, on the numbers that are running down on the screen. So Sundus Exchange is here to stay. Make sure you use Sundus Exchange because they are sponsoring this video. So the reason for the longevity of the cage is to have the two sections. So one side is 3.5 feet, the other is also 3.5 feet, or it can be 4 feet by 4 feet. Now, when the birds are still young, I don't need to have a wide space. And as you can see, I use a lantern and a 100 watts bulb. Or I can use 2 lanterns. Now, I seal it up with wool or woolen cloth, or what do they call it, like some nylon kind of sack bags. So a nylon bag to keep the warmth in there. And then I make sure that at the undercoat there is some inlets and then outlets the other side. Then I use the chicken mesh for the lower side so that not at the bottom, on the sides, as you can see in the video, so that these little bats don't go through the wire mesh. Now this square mesh, okay, what they call they use it here for grill. This square mesh, okay, at the bottom is where the bats will walk. The moment they get to 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they'll be able to move on the top, and then they will be passing their droppings down where I'll put trays to hold the droppings. Okay, then also I can pass automated water systems through this. Now when they are still 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I need one section of the 8 or 7 feet, so that is 3.5. But when they get to 4 weeks, in fact between 3 to 4 weeks, Before I complete the immunization, I now subdivide them into two sides. One side will have the females, then the other will have the males, so that I'm sure that the males are not competing for food or feeds with the females. Okay? Or I can even have the males and a few females in one side, but the number will be, okay, complementable for them not to compete for the feeds. So one thing with this cage, one, I make sure that I transfer the birds daily, one side to the other, from the other side to the opposite side, as you'll see in different videos. Secondly, at least I'm sure that the warmth is guarded within. Thirdly, it is easy at immunization. Even if it is one person, the birds are still young, they will carry one bird from this side and then they put the other side instead of running after them. Now, remember, we are small scale farmers. A person who has 10,000 birds, this may not be a cage for them. Okay, all they have to do is make sure that the mice are fully dead, especially those big mats. I don't have Mink Henry. If you know Mink Henry, he uses a US mink to go and grab the rats on big farms. Mine is a small farm. So one, I cannot put a pot or a breeding charcoal stove within a hot charcoal stove within this cage, because when the heat source gets, you know, so hot, the birds won't have anywhere to run like in a big room. So what do? I make sure I have constant heat. For example, if the lantern is lighting a constant frame from start to end, okay, then I'm very sure that I have a constant heat supply. It won't change. It will maintain the heat source of that temperature until morning. The heat is supposed to be in the birds from morning to evening, evening to morning, morning to evening, until they grow the whole feathers and even cover up the head. So that is up to at least 1 month. Kerosene is not expensive than the energy. Energy, you need to use 3 units. It will consume 3 units per 24 hours. Okay? Then kerosene, you may use in my country $1 per 24 hours. So if I'm using with 2 lanterns, $1 per 24 hours. So you can see the difference. Okay? Then as the birds grow, I already said it, we now interchange. One side we subdivide. Okay, I make sure they have the right supplements. Then also the water will be supplied 24 hours because I'll be going off the drinkers to a supplying water source bucket. All right, so that is with our breeding cage. If you have any questions about applicability, you can look for it. So time will come, by the time that I need to put them out of the wool, they will have covered feathers, and I just put them in our slate cages that I showed in the previous video. If you have not watched the video about my poultry house, you can go and watch for it, and how I spend my day, you can go and look for that video. There's a video about water. There's a video about the water. You're going to also see it. I think now we shall be ready to start our day 1 birds. I also have a section of videos I'm recording about broilers from start to end. I'll be releasing them until the end. I'll be recording the mortality rate too. Alright, so let's catch up in the next video.